based on my just a little bit of knowledge of how these things work, if Robert Mueller had asked the Southern District of New York not to do this now, they would have held off. I mean, he has sort of precedence here. So I'm a little doubtful that this is not either part of his investigation or in accord with his wishes. And this is a huge escalation. They obviously can't use privileged documents. They'll have to set those aside. They'll be reviewed by, as I understand, a third party reviews them, and they set aside what's privileged and not. But this is war. I mean, I believe this shows that we're very close now to the end game. You do not go bust in with get us a judge to give you a warrant to search the president's personal lawyer's office unless you think you are close to the end of this. You are getting important information. The president is now going to go to war against him. If the president has ever thought about trying to fire Mueller or pardon people, this is the moment where it goes to the very front of his mind. So I guess I worry that we might be underinterpreting this in the sense that I think this is a big move. Mueller could have put this off. He could have tried to get more cooperation from Cohen. The idea that he signs off and goes to a judge to get a judge to sign off on a warrant to do this, I think that's a big deal.
Well, I think look, again, part of what happens in these cases is that your concern is that there would be destruction of evidence and documents. So that often
that's why they did the no-knock warrant search of Manafort's house.
So even though it's an extreme step to go raid the house of the former chairman of the Trump campaign, I think you do it because you are in fear that there will be evidence destroyed.
Gloria Borger?
The relationship between the president and Michael Cohen has not gone away. If you'll recall, he invited Michael Cohen just, I guess it was a week ago when he was at Mar-a-Lago to visit him there and to visibly have dinner with him, to show his support for him. And shortly thereafter, he came out and said, he is my lawyer. And we also know from our reporting that witnesses have been asked about Michael Cohen vis-a-vis Trump Tower Moscow and the whole question of his involvement in trying to get that branding for the president during the campaign. And so the relationship between Michael Cohen and this president is like he's his, as he proudly calls himself, as Ray Donovan. And so it does not surprise me that either Mueller found something in his interviews that he thought should be investigated by New York, or that he is also continuing to do so on his own. But there is some, as Evan rightly points out, that is completely outside his purview, and he thinks that, however, it should not be left untouched or uninvestigated.
All right, that's interesting. David Urban, you want to weigh in?
So let's just dial it back for a second here and remember we do live in the United States of America, where everybody starts out with a presumption of innocence. As I sat on your set many times in this studio, when Senator Menendez was facing trial and some of the Democrats on the panel were saying he's done, he's gone, he's baked. And I said, hey, there's a jury here. We're going to come to a conclusion. Let's let them make the case. Let's not make the decision. We're not even close to that here. The FBI, some folks have taken some documents. Presumption of innocence. We're way far